Spending your children's inheritance and "it's not your money until you spend it" are not typical life mottos for the average Asian family. But for ex-Shell man Yusof Hashim, it is. These mottos are the sole reasons why he has managed to experience some of the most beautiful places in the world since retiring 17 years ago. Today at age 71, he has no intention of stopping. HTV caught up with the photographer, explorer and gyp setter and discovered his rules for an amazing retirement. Yusof, immense pleasure and immense honor chatting with you. Now, the last 17 years you've spent a life living a dream, essentially, for many corporate people. In fact, for everybody, essentially, in this world. How do you do it? Because a lot of people might think, you know, this guy must be really, really stupendously and fabulously rich.
Actually, I'm just a regular guy, just like you, just like everybody out there. I spent 30 years of my life working for Shell. I retired in 1999 as Shell's retail marketing director. I think I've been a little bit clever in building up a small investment portfolio that can see me through my retirement age. So I'm just a regular guy. You know, I'm nothing special. I'm not rich. You know, contrary to people's views that I sell pictures and make money to travel, I actually spend more money on my cameras than on my travels. You know, just like everybody else. It's a hobby.
So in the last year, I've seen your Facebook page. You've been to Antarctica, you've been to Africa, you've been to the North Pole. You spent your 50th anniversary with your wife at the North Pole. I mean, that's the dream that not many people would make. So how do you do it? I mean, how is it possible?
Well, I would say there are seven. There are seven must-haves that you must have in order to do what I do. Well, the first thing is you must have a very compliant spouse. You know, a wife or a husband that allows you to go wherever you want to go. That's number one, the must-have that you must have, because if your wife doesn't allow you to go and you listen to her,
then you'll never go anywhere.
which brings me to the second point, which is, you know, if she says no, you must have the spunk to actually go ahead and do what you like. Anyway.
Yeah, because your life is your own, right?
Yeah, if you want to go, you have to go. So that's two must-haves that you must have. And of course, the third must-have is that you must have a bit of money, which therefore rules out all the 20-somethings from doing the things that I do, going to exotic places, because these things cost money. So I suppose you can only do this once you've had a successful career, you've built a small nest egg for your retirement. I've managed to done that, thankfully enough. So those are three of the must-haves that you must have to do what I do. And of course there are, I said, seven. So the other one is, of course, you must have the health. I mean, you must have the health to do hiking in Antarctica, to trek to the Everest base camp in the Himalayas. You must have the strength and the knees to actually sail in Greenland. You know, so you must have the health. That's number four. Number five was, of course, you must have an adventurous heart in you. You know, the need and the want and the desire to go and do these things. You know, to go and see the world, sort of, to speak. You know, I mean, people go to Hong Kong Disneyland and they think, wow, that's life. You know,
but it's not really.
It's
right?
not.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to go to places where people don't normally go, because when I was working for Shell, I had the opportunity to travel all over the place. So I mean, Paris, London, Monaco, this is all passé. You know?
But you only saw the insides of the boardrooms. You never went out. Yeah, I mean, you never had a real chance to go outside.
Precisely. I mean, that's a jet setter's so-called glamorous life, you know. Yeah. You go to a meeting, you know, you stay in the best hotels, you eat the best food in the best restaurants.
But that's not the real Paris. That's not the real America. That's not
Precisely.
the real France.
The sixth and the seventh is, of course, you must have an adventurous heart, you know. The want and the need and the desire to go to these places that people don't normally go, you know, and places like the Gadik Pan, the Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia, you know. You want to go to Ushuaia, you want to go to Antarctica, you want to go to the North Pole to shoot pictures of polar bears, you know. These are some of the must-haves that you must have, you know, in order to do what I do.
And then there's the seventh.
The seventh is, of course, you must have a little bit of a kind of a personality that allows you to mix around with people like you know, people who are outgoing and people who want to see this kind of life. You don't want to be mixing around with people who are, you know, who only play golf, who thinks of what is great in the world is to go and play golf in St Andrews, to go play golf in Pebble Beach, that kind of thing. You want to go and meet around with people who've got a gypsetter's heart.
Yeah, that's right.
The people who can think and rough things out like a gypsy,
that's right,
but who still want the the glamour and the comfort of a jet setter's life.
Right.
So that's why I call it jet setter.
A bit of lap of luxury. But you've got two messages. You've got one for the 25 to 50-year-olds, and you've got another message for the 50-year-olds and above. And I think at the core of it all is your message that it's not your money until you spend it. So for the younger crowd, what do you say to them?
Okay, you can actually divide life into various phases, but to keep it simple, I will just divide life into two phases. The pre-50 phase, which is, pardon me if I say this, but it is the period of your life that you kiss ass, where you're trying to get on top of your mound, you're trying to make money, trying to get up in life, in the corporate world. And this stage is actually the stage where you are balancing the demands of your job, the demands of your career, with the demands of a marriage, with the needs to put your kids to university. So for the pre-50s, what I like to say is that get married early. Get your children early in your marriage life, and then send them to college and to school and all that, and finish off this duty before you reach 50. So that by the time you reach 50, you will have some time for yourself.
What about the above 50s? What is your message to them?
The above 50 is that hopefully by the time you reach 50, your parental duties would have been done. You would have finished sending your kids to school, and you would have built enough money for you to spend relatively comfortably. So now it is the period of your life where you need to have the guts to spend what you have earned.
You must call time on making money and now spending the money.
Precisely. Because what I like to tell my friends, my 70-year-old friends, is that do your maths. At 50, assuming that the use-by date for Malaysian males is 74 years old, at 50, you have actually only 24 years left of your life. So if you divide 24 by 74, you have something like 18% of life left. At 70, and you're supposed to be dead by 74, you have only 4 years left. 4 divided by 74 is less than 4% of life left. So what are you doing, my friends, who are now still going to the office, earning more money at 70? For what? Get real. I mean, be smart. I mean, you're not going to take that money to your grave, which is my often stated, people get tired of listening to me saying this, your money is not your money till you spend it,
Not your typical advice then from an utterly not typical person. But then again, one has to be different to live life on a different track. While others slowly regress into sedentary oblivion, the photographer, explorer and gypsetter Yusof Hashim continues to live a life others can only dream of. Long may he live, and long may he live life to the fullest.